This is Rockslapping Champions. Player 1, playing Raynor, we have Fuscanese. And player 2, playing Alarak, we have Silent Storm. So let's have a look at the masters while the players get set up. Raynor has gone for 20 points into the research cost reduction, 19 points into the Hyperion cooldown, and 19 points into the mech attack speed mastery. So we should be expecting a mech-centric build here for Raynor. And we see that they've gone for the Hyperion cooldown. I usually personally prefer the Banshee cooldown, unless there's a very specific timing you're trying to hit here with these masteries. For Alarak, he's gone for the unit attack speed mastery, the Death Fleet cooldown, and the structure overcharge mastery. You see that Alarak is moving a probe over here. He's moving 2 probes over here, as is recommended by Starcraft2coop.com. You can tell that Starcraft2coop.com is Silent Storm's #1 source of Starcraft2 information, because he is doing everything exactly as I mentioned in the guides, and I am so happy to see this. And you can see he is going to be slowly sneaking a probe over, and he's going to be using this fast expand here for Alarak. So if you do want to know how to do the Alarak fast expands, and they're fast expands for pretty much a good chunk of commanders, Zeratul, Menx, Kerax, they're all available on the site. Feel free to check it out, but that is pretty much a textbook fast expand done with no probe losses as well. So yeah, he did end up sacrificing 1 probe away from the mining line, from the mineral line, but that is more than enough. That is a very, very nice fast expand. Silent Storm, if you were watching this, well done. 2 thumbs up. I am happy. Raynor is going now for a bunch of Marines, and he has already a factory out, and he's going to be producing some stuff out of a factory. He's going for a mech-centric build, so this is kind of expected. He has a few Marines here just to start working away and start clearing out here. We have also another pylon being put here for Alarak. I think he might be wanting to help his ally clear his ally clear the expansion. So that is also something that is available for Alarak. I generally I normally end up waiting for my ally to start clearing the expansion, and then yeah, you can overcharge on the back line, or you can even put the next set of pylons to try and clear the bonus objective, because that is something else that can be done as well. Once we get vision, I can show you where to put them, but you can put the pylons down right behind the mineral line, and that has enough range to take out the train. I think you need 2 pylons full overcharge, I think, to deal with the train. It's something like that. I can't remember exactly, but that is also an option. Alarak is already out. We have a bunch of Marines here that have ended up giving their lives against that Zealot, and now that Zealot is also going to end up dying to the Banshee airstrike that was used by Raynor. Raynor is going to move his Banshee airstrike over here now and start to harass some of these Zealots. I'm not sure why. Okay, he's going for the pylon, so he is selected the pylon to disable that 1 cannon, and now these Zealots will also end up dying. Over here, Alarak duking it out with these Zealots and surrounded photon cannon as well. These Banshee airstrike has gotten a reasonable amount of value, but Raynor is going for a mech build, and he has not worked away on his expansion just yet. So it's fine that he wants to use a Banshee airstrike to help his ally out, but his ally didn't really need that assistance. Now he's used a Hyperion here to... His Banshee airstrike is going to end up timing out, and this Hyperion is just basically sitting over here doing nothing. So I'm going to switch over to Alarak's point of view, and I want to see where Raynor is looking at. So Raynor is actually looking at his base right now, and he is not moving this Hyperion. This Hyperion has basically killed 2 out of the 3 boxes, and it is basically just timing out right now. And Raynor is building a couple of starports. So he wants to go for the mech build, so there's only one thing that will be built here, and that is the battle cruisers. But that Hyperion basically has been timed out, not getting any value, and right now Raynor has realized that this Hyperion needs to move around, but that is just a little bit too late. The Hyperion has timed out without getting any value, and still no expansion available for Raynor. Now, Raynor has no army units as well, so Alarak is basically left by himself. In production, we have a bunch of vultures that are being produced for Raynor, and you can see that Alarak here is basically just rushing up for his Ascendant Archives, and he's going to be using his High Templars or the Ascendants to work away on the hybrid, and that is a strategy that is usually the strategy for Alarak. Raynor has put down his first starport. The first starport is done. We have a tech lab, and now you can see that we also have a fusion core, and these vultures are going to get completely wiped by Amon's little run-by here, and this run-by is probably going to be moving towards Raynor's base. And again, Raynor does not have an army. He has actually 2 vultures. I'm not really sure where they are, and this one SCV might end up getting focused down. Down goes that SCV that was building the fusion core for Raynor's Cavalry Bruisers. We have a structure overcharge onto Raynor's command center, and that command center will be able to clean up the rest of these Dragoons. We now have a couple more vultures that get dropped, and their lives were saved because I'm pretty sure those Dragoons would have been able to take out those vultures without any issues. And research-wise, we have the Afterburners upgrade, which is kind of like the stim for vehicles. It just allows them to move a little bit faster. Again, that is not going to be enough. The vultures are not really useful when it comes to their auto attack. They're used for their spire mines, and these vultures also end up dying in the process. And so far, 13 vultures have died and 3 marines. Those 3 marines were used to clean up the initial set of boxes at the start of the mission. That is okay, but now Raynor only is down to a total of 5 vultures, and these are these vultures over here, the little lone vultures here. And Raynor is just now building his command center on site, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Just putting these pylons right behind this mineral line allows him to overcharge and actually take out this train, which is again really nice positioning here. I am so happy to see Alarak like doing stuff correctly. It's so rare to see Alarak that actually knows what he's doing, and apparently Raynor also managed to lose the rest of the vultures over there. I'm not sure how he lost those vultures. I was mostly just very pleased with the pylon overcharge here, but that pylon overcharge will kill off this train. Banshee airstrike also gets used, somewhat unnecessary for the Banshee airstrike, and Raynor doesn't have... He has his Duskwings over here? He has a Hyperion as well here. Did he... Yeah, I'm not... He actually lost a couple of Banshees as well. He made a couple of Banshees from his starports, and yeah, he had a couple of Banshees as well. What is available now for... We have 4 more vultures being produced for Raynor, and he is going for his plating upgrades and his attack upgrades, which is fine, because Raynor does get his units do get a little bit more HP here. But again, what is Raynor looking at right now? He is using his Hyperion to try and weaken these enemy bases, which is fine. He's getting some value, but you can always just have the Hyperion move forward and just move like through the enemy base, and that will do its job. So 4 more vultures over here, and Raynor is producing 2 battlecruisers out of his starports. Now we have the battlecruisers coming out, and you can see that Alarak has already started to get his ascendants out, so these ascendants will be able to handle the hybrid. And you can see we also have a preliminary pylon being dropped here for Alarak, so he's going to be using his pylon to deal some damage. Alarak just slowly harassing some of these enemy bases. Not really necessary, he's not really in much of a rush. He needs to get his ascendants up and strengthened as well. Production wise for Raynor, he has a couple more vultures being produced. And where are these vultures being dropped? One of the tricky parts is actually figuring out where these vultures ended up falling. Okay, so they are with the ascendants. So we have four vultures sitting in the base here, and we have 2 vultures sitting with the ascendants here. And still, his armies have not combined. I think his starports have finished producing his battlecruisers, so he does have a couple of battlecruisers. These battlecruisers now are going to start harassing Amon's base here. And there are a bunch of adepts here. These adepts will deal a little bit of damage to these zealots. I'm not sure what these zealots' plan is. They are running... Oh, they want to go towards these vultures, and these zealots are going to end up killing off these vultures. These vultures getting the short end of the stick over here, and they end up dying. These zealots do end up getting leashed back, and these zealots will end up dying to these battlecruisers as well. We have a few more vultures here. These vultures, again, they're being used for their auto attack, not for their spire mines, and they are getting picked off by Amon's forces, and these vultures will also end up going down. Finally, all that is left now of Raynor's army is the 2 battlecruisers. He's hell-bent on adding some vultures now. This vulture gets dropped right into the middle of this photo cannon line, already dies, and this one's already at 50% HP. By the time it comes out of his drop pod, it is also dead. All that is left for Raynor now are 2 battlecruisers. General Davis is really slow this game. Why is she so slow? We need to see more stuff. We have a 3rd battlecruiser being dropped for Raynor, so that is also good. Still still more vultures are being dropped for Raynor. And where is Raynor dropping these vultures? These ascents are probably going to end up getting caught out by the stasis. Oh no, only one gets caught out. It's kind of nice. These vultures, Raynor is actually dropping all his vultures right here, and they are actually just getting picked off one by one by Amon's forces. Amon really has no issues dealing with this. If you now finally these Valkyries do end up moving into position, the hybrid has died just through the Ascendant's Mind Blast. Mind Blast does so much damage to single target, and they are just so great here. Battlecruisers get tactical jump, but there are Dragoons over here, and these Dragoons are just going to start taking these Battlecruisers face on, and all these Battlecruisers have died. Finally, the Mama Battlecruiser jumps into position as well. This Mama Battlecruiser is a little bit stronger. We have a War Prism with an overcharge, and we have a bunch of Psionic Orbs as well. They get thrown down by Alarak, and he just ends up melting that attack wave completely. The next train has also spawned, but there's 3 seconds left on the timer, and that one Hyperion has saved the day. Raynor has saved the day by picking off some of these parts here, and that mission was almost a loss there. That timer went down really, really low. Go check it out. Go rewind this clip to see how close they were to certain defeat. But now we have another bunch of vultures here that are helping with Alarak's Death Fleet and Alarak's assistance. Alarak doesn't really need any assistance. There's still some more parts here that haven't been picked up by Raynor. Raynor has lost a lot of stuff. He's lost 4 Battlecruisers and 31 vultures with 2 Banshees. I don't know where those Banshees ended up dying during the start of the game, and just see the damage that this Mind Blast can do. Alarak is going to slowly start pushing into this enemy base here as well. He needs to try and pick up some more of these parts. Supplicants are fighting over here, and I think whatever is left here is just going to be cleaned up by Raynor's army. And yeah, we have a bunch of Battlecruisers as well. We have more vultures are being dropped again. Like, I'm pretty sure these trains can be hit by Spire Mines, so all that Raynor needs to do is just use the Spire Mines on his vultures to clean up this train, but he is not doing that, and he's wasting it. He's losing out on a lot of damage, but these Battlecruisers are gonna be okay, at least until the attack wave has spawned. And now, again, Raynor will have to be careful with how he engages these attack waves. And the other thing I've also realized is, I don't, like, does he have Yamato Cannon? Like, is it an unlockable upgrade, or is it something he has to buy, or he has to research? I can't remember. I don't normally use Valkyries for Raynor. And we have a bunch of War Prisms. We have Archons over here as well. High Templars on the bottom, and they are going to start attacking Raynor's base. And Raynor is nowhere near in position. These High Templars will actually end up dying, but again, there is a lot of stuff here, and we have a bunch of Mind Blasts, or not Mind Blasts, but we have a bunch of Psionic Orbs. Alarak just completely deleting this attack wave, and Raynor's army is basically just spread in all random directions. He has 4 Battlecruisers, 12 Vultures, and they are actually not okay. Finally, they are now clumped up, and Raynor will start pushing into this base. There's a random attack wave marker ping here. I'm not really sure what that is. It might be a random War Prism, but now Raynor has enough to be able to start pushing through and start clearing out this side. But now he's tactical jumped his Battlecruisers to try and help Alarak, who totally does not need any assistance from his ally, and these vultures are going to probably end up getting caught out by some of these Amon units, but they will end up moving a little bit. They're a little bit too fast here, and they are now moving back. I'm not sure why they are moving back here. Raynor is going to combine his army. Finally, he has an army. I wouldn't say it's a large army, but it's an army nonetheless. And he has also his Banshee Airstrike that is just chilling over here. And Raynor wants to push through with his army of Vultures and Battlecruisers. I think his plan is to use the Vultures as mineral dump, but the mineral dump from the Vultures is not from their auto attack, it's from their Spire Mines, as I have said several times earlier. And no upgrades as well on those Vultures, so Raynor will have to try and clear out these things by himself, or with the help of his ally at least. And those Vultures have already taken some heavy losses, and that Immortal is also shelling away at some of this. Finally, we have a mass teleport from Alarak, and that is probably going to end up catching out pretty much everything here. Some of those Ascendants do end up surviving, or not survive, but end up escaping that stasis, and now there's an attack wave that is making its way towards Raynor's base. Raynor's army over here is fine, and you just see how Alarak just completely deleting this hybrid through its Mind Blast, and now this thing is right on top of, or at least it's at Raynor's doorstep. It's going to be on top of Raynor's base in just a very little time. We have the Hyperion that gets used here to try and stall this attack wave. This attack wave is not interested. This Hyperion is also going to end up timing out. And now there's an Arbiter there that is causing some problems because it is going to end up cloaking a good chunk of the Amon units over here, and the storms come down right on top of Raynor's battlecruisers. Zealots all over the place here, and these battlecruisers are getting focus fired down by Amon's forces, and those battlecruisers are going to end up dying. Those vultures trying to help against those dragoons, but they stand no chance against the dragoons. Finally, Alarak is back into position, and he is going to end up deleting the rest of this attack wave. His ascendants are trailing a little bit behind, they're a little bit too slow, but Raynor has taken some heavy losses. He has lost 17,000 minerals worth of stuff here, and the total loss is 12 Valcruisers and 46 Vultures have died, and those 2 random Banshees at the start of the mission. These Vultures are actually getting pulled away. This is actually kind of funny. They're getting just pushed around by these supplicants, and the Vultures is like, no. Are those Vultures on follow, or are they getting pushed around by the supplicants? Oh, they have... Oh, they're on follow on Alarak. Yeah, they are 100% on follow. Has Raynor just like thrown in the towel? Is that what's happened? No, he's doing stuff. He's looking at his... Okay, now he started attacking. That was actually really, really weird. I have no idea what that was, or why that was, or where, or how, or which, or when, but this is Rockslapping Champions, and sometimes these games are a little bit difficult to cast because the players do things that are somewhat unexpected. We have a few more battlecruisers out for Raynor, so Raynor has managed to keep his expansion alive. He hasn't really taken severe losses, minus the random stuff that he got hammered with earlier in the early stage of the game. He does end up tactical jumping his battlecruisers here, and these battlecruisers should be able to deal with these carriers. Carriers aren't really great against the battlecruisers. He's not focusing down the carriers themselves, and again, no Yamato cannons being used on his battlecruisers, so he's not really getting as much value as he would probably want to get on his army. We have another attack wave over here, but again, the attack wave just runs head first into Alarak's army, and Alarak's army is just massive. He has Empower Me also active, and he is going to just end up melting this attack with some of his ascendants taking a little bit too much damage. I think there were some heavy ascendant losses. Yeah, 5 ascendants have died in the process, but again, these ascendants they're not using their psionic orbs, which is somewhat weird. What is Raynor doing? He's just going and picking up these parts. Actually for the good, because the mission timer is running a little bit low, and these commanders will have to try and get this hybrid to spawn, and that'll increase the timer at least a little bit, but they still need to pick up some more parts here. So we have 1 minute and 15 seconds left on timer. Raynor using his army of battlecruisers. He has given up on the vultures completely. He has decided that he has lost many a good man in trying to deal with these vultures. He finally tactical jumps his guys across here, and he's going to start attacking on some of Amon's bases and some of Amon's structures. These battlecruisers are getting focused down because they did not tactical jump across here, and they're taking a lot of damage here. Some more focus down from these stalkers. Is that one battlecruiser going to end up going down? I think it will probably end up getting picked off through a miss rally. One battlecruiser does end up surviving, but again, how much HP do they? They have 715 HP, and these battlecruisers are now... This guy's going to be moving back. Tactical jump again forward with another battlecruiser. Raynor is sitting at 11 battlecruisers total, and I think he should be fine unless something else happens that will make him lose some more. He has lost 13 battlecruisers and 55 vultures throughout the course of this game. And again, General Davis is going to take a while before she moves in. Alarak is... He is sitting on... Yeah, these 3 are like... Are these all 10 stack ascendants? Wait, this is an 8 stack. Only an 8 stack ascendant. Yeah, half these ascendants are all like max stack ascendants. These things are just... Yeah, these battlecruisers are actually on follow. There's 120 APM being used for Raynor, but he's building... He wants a supply gap? He wants to spend his minerals. Yeah, these battlecruisers are just on follow on Alarak. Raynor has now dropped. He's taking a short break after his little burst 300 APM. Look at this GSL player over here. 300 APM with Alarak. And now Raynor will start pushing because he is on follow with Alarak there. And he's going to use his mother battlecruiser, the mommy battlecruiser, and we have also a Banshee airstrike here, and this is basically going to end up getting cleared out by the commanders. So nothing too difficult. General Davis is also tagging behind on the back line. We have an overcharged War Prism, and Alarak now is ready to handle this hybrid. Mommy battlecruiser and baby battlecruisers are here, and they are also ready to engage. And no, we have some more vultures added by Raynor, and now this hybrid is going to be reasonably upset. And this Immortal as well is getting most of the kills here. There's going to be a Plasma Blast right on top of this army. Another Storm here. This hybrid is not going to be really very useful against these Valkyries, so it doesn't end up getting killed off. But 65 Vultures is the total fatality count of Vultures, and 13 Valkyries have died throughout the course of the mission. So I think some Valkyries did end up getting picked off somewhere. I think maybe they were engaging this side. But now the hybrid is out, and Raynor is stimming away. He wants to try and take out the rest of these structures, but again, Alarak is basically already in position, and he is going to use his Mind Blast. And just see how quickly this hybrid dies. By the time Raynor gets into position, this hybrid is pretty much going to get melted completely by Alarak's Ascendant. This is why Alarak is really, really good. But those are all the hybrids dead after a lot of carnage. But that's game done, and that is GG.